you don't send me, I won't go. Where you lead, Lord, I follow. On my knees, that's where I go. For my open doors. Won't let go till you bless me like Jacob. I'm desperate, Lord, please fix my focus. When trials of life overtake us, you never say. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I stumble through the years, yeah, with tears in my eyes. I know my storm's not over, but my battles will be won. I've been this place before, yeah. This is my threshing floor. My shame may be battered, but I know my hand to hold. Yeah, getting weary, journey so long, but I'ma hold on. I'ma hold strong. Use my faith to move the mountain. Pray till something happens. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I am not leaving, till you bless me, Lord. I am not leaving. Baby, wait upon the Lord, yeah. Shall renew your strength. Disappointed, felt like giving up. Was in deep stress, but my change has come. And God give I strength to rise again and find my place. He called me friend. The struggles real and the dirty tough. So many told me I was not enough, but in my God I find my strength. With every breath I sing and say, I will rise, I will rise. I will rise, I will rise. Mount up on eagle's wings, I will rise, I will rise, I will rise.
So there were days when giving up all in my mind, but I won't give up. I gotta get up and fight. Oh God, give me the strength. I'm letting go. I'm holding on to the end. The righteous fall 7 times, but rise again. Dry bones, you can live again. Lord, I know that you love me. Show me your ways. Please go before me.
I will rise. I will rise.
Mount up on eagle's wings.
I will rise. I will rise. I will rise. I will rise. I will rise.
Mount up on eagle's wings.
I will rise. I will rise. I will rise. My change has come. He called me friend. My season of overflow, my God is saying,
Lord, you renewed my mind. You transform my life. Lord, the chains are broken, and I will rise.
I will rise.
For me to the
I will rise.
Mount up on eagle's wings. I will rise. Mount up on eagle's wings.
I will rise. I will rise.
Come to the sun.
I will rise.
Mount up,
I will rise.
mount up on eagle's wings. I will rise. Mount up on eagle's wings.
Just not proud of the daddy CEO. Embrace the promise. Saturday, April 16, Philadelphia. Let me tell you something. Remember, you see when we step up on the ground. Dr. KJ, we just want to tell Satan one thing. Jesus bigger than you, your mama, your papa, your picnic them, your grandson. Please catch a fire and burn down.
All right, all right. Let me say good evening to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Relationship Talk, Sexual Matters. Want to say welcome. Fancy Reedy says, I am first. All right. Welcome, Fancy. Welcome, Deandra. Welcome, Mr. Praise. Welcome. If you're just joining us, wherever you're joining us from, welcome everyone. Welcome. It is so good to have you sharing in this our program this evening. Want to say welcome to Pastor Kelly. Pastor Kelly,
Oh, you're the doctor.
I am doing well, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Bless you, man. Bless you, man. Bless you. Bless you, sir.
Yeah, man. I know you. I know you've had a hectic week, eh?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I do. I did. Even last night, I couldn't get to go live because of responsibilities on the other side.
Yeah, man. That's how it is, we take care of stuff, but then we remember we have to still take care of family. So
Amen.
that's key, man.
Amen.
Yeah, that's key. Good
Amen.
evening.
Thank you. Amen.
We're gonna be having Question Brown will be joining us in the discussion this evening. I'm not sure if he's ready yet, but if you're ready, Question, can you put yourself on the screen? Let me know that you are ready, ready indeed. Until he gets to that, this evening, Pastor Kelly, we're going to be talking about the effects of pornography in marriage. Is it demonic? The effects of pornography in marriage. We're waiting for a question to come on the screen. I want to start this segment out by, we're just chit chatting as men. We're going to be having the three men on. Do remember you can participate in the discussion at any time. Our listeners, we will read your comments and we will try to respond to your comments as much as we can. All right. All right. So we're going to be having Question Brown joining us in a little bit. All right. So do stick around for that. Uh, just looking at the message here. All right. Pastor Kelly, pornography in marriage. Is it demonic? I'm going to give you some statistics. And it was very alarming. A lot of people might find it very intriguing and very alarming when it comes on to pornography. And by the way, it is believed that men watch porn more than female in the marriage. I don't know if you agree with that, Pastor Kelly.
Well, I have not surround myself with many male who have find themselves in that position, but if that's the case, I would believe so as well.
Or you do believe that men do look at porn more than females?
Based on the hunger that men more go after, men are more, you know, open to show their desire in that area, wanting to be pleased, and while the woman who is a female would just keep herself in a quiet mode at times, not showing it as how the men would. So they would find ways, especially men who are out of the body of Christ.
It is said that pornography is on the rise. In 2013, I'm going to give some statistics now. In 2013, porn sites received 450 million unique monthly visitors. 450 million
Yeah.
visitors monthly on porn site across the globe. That's more than Netflix, Amazon, Twitter
Mm,
combined.
mm,
30% of
Mm.
all data transferred across the internet is porn related.
Yeah.
30% of all data transferred across the internet is porn related. You think you hear nothing yet? Listen to this. Every second, I want you to pay attention to this now. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
go into how serious
Mm.
pornography is and how
Yeah.
it affects a relationship. Every second,
Mm.
28,258 people watching pornography. Every second. So if you have 60 seconds in 1 minute, multiply that by 1 minute, and that will
Yeah.
tell you how many people watching porn by the minute. Now,
Yeah.
listen to this. Every second, every second, $3,075.64 US dollars is being spent on pornography on the internet.
I believe. You know why I believe? Sorry to cut you. I remember the days when you used to go to the movie shop to rent your DVD or your what you call it on this VCR,
Yeah.
DVD cassette, whatever it is. And you would see them in the store where persons will really go there and rent those stuff. So today things isn't more online. So you can imagine what you're saying is true.
Want to say welcome to my passion. Welcome to Minister Kimika. God bless you, my sister. Good evening. If you're just joining us, welcome. Now, previous studies, and we're going to be going very deep tonight, Pastor Kelly. And
Mm,
when we get to the demonic side of it, we're going to
mm,
expound a
mm,
little bit on it. We know this topic will not be finished tonight. I'm sure
mm,
we're going to be continuing with the doctors next week. As a matter of fact, apologize for Dr. Tull. He's out of country. And also Dr. Dunbar, she's out of country as well. So they were unable to join us tonight. Now, previous studies have found that porn has an
yeah.
accelerating effect on a deteriorating marriage. Listen now. Husbands in poor relationships tend to consume sexually explicit material, and consuming more sexually explicit material also leads to relationship. Poorer relationship. Um, it is it is it is very alarming when it comes on to pornography and the pornography industry and and our marriage. Um, I'm just waiting for Pastor Kelly to come back on screen. I think he's probably setting up his phone or something, so he was stating off the screen a little bit there. Also waiting on Question Brown to come on screen so we can have the discussion. But it is very alarming that 450 million visitors would visit these sites on a monthly basis. And it is very concerning to me that 30% of all data that is
Mm,
transferred across the internet is porn related. The question is, Pastor, porn sells like this? Why do you think it
mm.
sells so much?
Well,
Is it that we're
we
having
know.
problems in our marriage and so we have to make up, as we have already established that men do look at porn more than female, and if the female, beg to differ, you can let us know. Let us know what, if you do not agree with that. But why is porn so prevalent so much on the internet, or it sells so much?
Remember now, we all are human beings, whether we are in the house of the Lord, being the body of Christ, or being an unsaved. Our being as human, coming on in the pathway of knowing about that sexual desire that we have, and the urge that we have. Even if you have your own partner, whether it's a wife or a husband or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, there are some men are not satisfied. Some women are not satisfied, and the mind and the eyes is very much attractive to the things that is, the desiring of the flesh. And I would say, to go to that extreme where you would see persons going after that desire, amen, just to experience, amen. Some persons would want to be an experience, to see what it's like of others perform, what the levels of pornography, and I believe there are several many levels where persons would go to, where just to search and to find, and understand how they can even take care of even their relationship. I believe certain persons go into it as well, just to see how well they can be taught, or well they can be pleased. There are many reasons, I believe.
But isn't that dangerous to isn't that they are treading on dangerous waters when they
Yes,
become curious and want to
yes.
see, oh, but the question is, why would you want to see how another man perform anyway?
The flesh,
You
man.
know,
The flesh. The flesh has desire, that. But let us be real. The flesh has desire. Is our greatest challenge. And not because being just the church. I know, even when I find myself into a place where I'm in church, but the feelings that come upon us, we can't wait to be married, we can't wait to be settled down, to just to live the good life. But the flesh keep on want us to go and seek the desires of stuff like that. I'm telling you, that is what causing it, you know. And it's dangerous. I believe it's dangerous. I believe.
do you think, Pastor Kelly, that porn is a good way to spice up a marriage?
Not for me. So, not for me. Not for me. If it's based on the mindset. If I had a mindset to know that I'm gonna see ways out to help me, because I don't have the mind to be creative and to be more able to function as the husband or the boyfriend the individual is. You can find ways, to seek help. But I believe the best person is yourself, to find yourself and know how to deal with that situation in your bedroom pertaining to your sex life.
Fancy Reed is saying, I don't watch them or pay for them. She says, I make my own with her partner.
Husband. Yeah.
Uh, all right, all right.
Legal,
Now,
legal, legal,
the true
legal.
purpose of sex, Pastor Kelly, has become twisted. The true purpose of
Yeah,
sex, when if porn is involved. Now, sex is a
yeah,
wonderful gift. There's no question about that. Sex is a
yeah.
beautiful
Blessed
gift.
man,
It's a
blessed,
blessing,
blessed
yes,
man.
and it's given to married couples by God Himself as
Yes,
a means of
yes,
experiencing physical pleasure, physical
yes,
pleasure together, and it's a way to experience the deepest and most profound intimacy with a spouse. Look at what Genesis 2 and verse 24 says. It says, and they
mm-hmm.
shall become one
One,
flesh, one
yes,
flesh. Now, when porn becomes a part of what you're doing in your marriage, uh
yeah.
it weakens your marriage. When you become
True,
dependent on porn to perform,
true,
you
true.
have a serious psychological problem. A serious
Yes,
psychological problem. Now, there are
yeah,
persons out there, Pastor Kelly, who they can't perform without the help
yeah,
of porn. They have to put
yes,
a porn movie in, or we're living in an age now where everybody has so much access to the internet, and it is
yeah,
quite concerning, because now more than ever we have to be watching even our kids. to
Yeah.
make sure that our kids are not looking at these things and messing up their minds, corrupting their minds, because what the eyes see can be very dangerous to our children.
Yes.
And this is
Yes.
where the whole demonic aspect of pornography is going to come in later on
Mhm.
as we
Yes.
discuss. I want to say
Content.
welcome to
Mhm.
Natalie Noble. Good to have you, my sister. Fancy really saying it's about compatibility, I think. All right. So when you as a husband, I don't know, I don't know if I agree really with the statistics that says that men view pornography more than women.
Mm.
I yeah, I don't know if I want to agree with
But
that
that
because
men show up. Men show up. You kind of right still because men show up more. Men are more bold when it come on to that. Women, I believe, would be shy. You know. So from me and you, we couldn't say for real. But I believe men are more open to say, "Well, I'm gonna watch that hard man." Yeah.
no, men are more open to talk about it. There's no
Yes.
question about that. But
Yes.
I don't know if I agree that men
Mm.
watch or look at pornography more than women. I don't
Yeah.
know if I want to agree with that. But
Right.
as we get into it and get the feedback from the doctors next week, we will see you know
Right.
what they come up with based on their own studies and their own research. Now, porn, there are effects of porn. There are a number of effects that pornography has on marriage. Now, listen to this again, Pastor Kelly. Roughly,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
this is one study done by a psychologist, and not
Yeah.
because it's a study done by one person means that I do
Yeah.
agree with the study, but
Right.
it seems as if it is leaning that way. All right, it seems to be
Right.
leaning even based on what you
Right.
said earlier. Now, roughly
Right.
55 to 70% of men,
Mm-hmm.
they say watch pornography, and 30 to 40% women under the age of 40 reported viewing pornography in a given year. So
Yeah.
55 to 70% of men and
Right.
30 to 40% of women under the age of 40
Mm-hmm.
in a given year. Now, they're
Yes.
saying that younger generations, particularly those who access the internet during adolescence, have shown the
Right.
greatest increase in pornography
Yeah.
use over the past
Mm-hmm.
few decades. So you're talking about children as early as 10 years old. They
Yeah.
are saying that more than 70% of that population has
Yeah.
seen pornography or is viewing pornogaphy on
Yeah.
the internet. Some perhaps, as you mentioned, the DVDs or the VCR back in the days
Mm-hmm.
would have probably gone to
Mm-hmm.
watch those things when their parents were not there,
True.
right? They hide and watch those things. Now, this
Yes.
study is saying that more than 70% of adolescents today are watching and viewing pornography. Isn't that alarming?
It is. It is. The children, the young, I believe even the college students, I believe they're onto it. I'm telling you.
Welcome to Question Brown, who has just joined us. My brother, how you doing?
I'm good. It's always say to the welcome to question, bro. Like,
I have to welcome you, man.
yeah, man. Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
Listen to me.
Blessings,
Um,
Pastor Kelly.
Bless up, bro.
Blessings, Dr.
I know you
KJ.
were listening to the conversation. Question: do you agree that men look at porn more than women?
Yeah, I agree.
Why you agree with that?
Uh, One of the things is that men, as we already established, that men are more visual people, right?
Yes.
And as a result of that, what I would say now, we as men, once it look attractive, we tend to want to look. That's it. Period. Most times someone want beat around it and behave like so them no look. But as men, once it looks attractive to us, we are going to look, right?
Yeah.
And
Nature.
the reality is that if we look at how they present porn is presented in a very attractive way.
Yes.
Right? If you see the type of girls that they use to promote these things, they are very attractive women. Right? And because why? And why does men consume porn more than women? Because you see it is really geared towards men. It's not so much geared towards women. If you look at how they promote porn, it is not really something that is, it is not intentionally geared towards the women population, right? So we are visual.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, if you pass and you see a CD back in the days and it have on a big breast, you're gonna look on that CD, right?
Yeah.
Because we are visual. That's how we
I read that.
that's how we see things. We look on what I keep on
Attractive.
telling. Yeah, I keep on telling people, don't tell me you look at, oh, she have a good heart. No, you never see her good heart first. You're going to see three things: face, breasts, and bottom. That's it. Three things.
Men.
As men, that is what we look. And then we get to know these women, right? So men consume porn more because intentionally it was geared towards men. And if you see, as I say, if you see how they promote it, they really package it for men. You don't really see them put up a big stick man on a porn box. Or if they're going to advertise a porn, you don't see them put up a big stick man on it, on the front of it. They're going to put up a female. They're not going to put up a man, right? Because they know that men consume.
There are a lot of merit in what you're saying, QB. Because even nowadays, a porn seems to be a part of almost everything that they're advertising. If you look on the soaps, for example, soaps that we used to shower our body with, as you said, you never see a man on the paper of the soap.
Never.
You see a female. You never see a man half naked. In commercial per se.
True.
True.
They are advertising books and they have to put a half naked woman on it. They are advertising a shirt, a clothing.
Yeah.
They have to put
lotion.
Lotion. They put it on half naked women. Yes. And so almost everything around us is so saturated and populated. As you said, gearing towards men, for men to see. Don't you think that this is all a plan of the enemy to destroy our men? Because since they say that men are weak when it comes on to those things, isn't it demonic that they would even thought of trying to target us men in that way?
Yeah, it's set up.
Yeah,
it's set up, man.
And as I shared last week, that society in reality doesn't really care about men, right? It is not so much to destroy us, right? But it is more to distort us,
right?
Right? So they don't want it to destroy us.
Distort us because they think we are weak?
I think I don't even want to say because they think we're weak, but it is more to because, all right, if you get to pressure a man to some extent, because think about it, a man would spend his money on a girl's OnlyFans page. You see any man setting up an OnlyFans page?
No.
Women do these things, right? And I would say it is geared towards more destroying the family than really destroying the man, It is more set up towards really the breakdown, or maybe it's not really set up towards the breakdown, but it helps to break down the family values. Because when a man start thinks him need to go pay up on OnlyFans, right? And before I even get that far, let me just say a man would ending up going to watch porn, and like, yeah, the reasons, right? Because there can be several reasons why the man really go and watch it.
Reasons,
right? So,
yes.
and it comes back to the reason again. So a man might not be getting the type of sex that he wants at home, right? So what him do? Him go watch porn, and he might not get he might not be as satisfied during the, and not just greedy, right? Because we don't want to look upon it from a standpoint of the man being greedy, because that is what society keeps setting it up, so that we look at men as always being greedy, right? And want more, and him can't satisfy. But sometimes we have these women who are in these relationships, and the reality is that they're not pulling their weights, right? They're not really giving the man good sex. Them especially in, let's say, in Christian marriages, right? And we can acknowledge, say, Christian marriages are failing, right, miserably. And one of those things is because of sexual issues. We could have beat around it and feel like we want to go around it. If you really dig deep in most of these relationship, it is because of sexual issues, right? So the man might say, all right, him like, I don't want, let me say, him like, him want to do it in him car, right? But the woman don't want to do it in the car, or him want, him like,
creative,
yeah,
creative.
There's some sexual stuff that the man like, and him not get it. So what do you think? Him just as we talk about the women not having a orgasm, the man reach a place where him just get a, what would I call it, a rock, and it no feel good. So what him do now is that him go watch a porn, and him go do him thing, and him go feel a better, or I would say a more, what I would say now, a more powerful orgasm. You get what I say? Because him go watch it and him help himself. So, and then again, it porn as well, just like how you have people who smoke and drink and is an addiction, porn also can be an addiction. So the man can be getting all of the enjoy sex at the house, but him just thinks he need to go watch some porn. You get me? So those are some of the things that maybe we need to find out the why, right? And as I was saying, it might not necessarily mean say them want destroy the man, but more distort the man.
It is said that porn is self-centered and self-serving.
Yeah.
And again, it alludes to the perspective of the man. It doesn't require that husband be lovers of their wives. That's porn.
Yeah.
In the counterfeit world of porn, sex simply involves an image or a video, masturbation and orgasm. The sexual arousal is immediate and gratification is instant. It's all about personal pleasure. In Fantasyland, it's easy to pursue a perfect airbrush woman who acts like, you know what?
Yeah.
Never has a headache, needs no foreplay, and requires no ongoing relationship. Porn rewires the brain to focus on you and not on intimacy. Do you believe that a lot of the lack of foreplay that we're having in marriages today is as a result of what is stored in the subconscious as a result of looking at porn?
I was seated here just now thinking about it, and just to hear you don't come up with it. Now, if you are with your partner, your wife, let's say as men, we're talking about this marriage now where you watching porn when your mind's supposed to be set on your wife. Your focus is on her. You're going to remember what you watch. You understand, Klubi? You're going to remember what you watch in the porn. Your mind is not stable in the moment of you being there in your moment with your wife, and to see yourself looking back now at that woman that you saw into that video. I'm telling you, Doc, that's what is happening.
So it's more to distort.
It is. It is.
Hey, Dr. KJ?
Maybe I'll call name. Maybe I'll call name, and it's the porn name. Somebody in the porn name what he find attractive to him.
Is it?
And it seems to be someone else out there, which is another woman, but it's a porn, and she has a name, porn woman. Make sense?
I would love to hear from the ladies. What would they do if their husband did that to them while they were being intimate? What would they do? You know, my passion is saying that porn is no longer popular. I would love for her to elaborate a little bit more on that. So we, so we can see where she's going with that. She said it's no longer popular.
Porn.
Yes.
Porn is more popular now than back in the days. You know why? Guess why?
I think so too. I think it
Because
is more popular now.
in 1998, right? In 1998, you had to buy a cassette or a CD.
True.
Let me show you something. Everybody walk around with one of these days.
Right now, easy
So,
access. That's right.
So you have to understand that the more accessible it is, you might not see it on the street selling. The more accessible it is the more problem come with it.
Trust
Right?
me.
So if your statistics can show how much is made from porn per day. Remember, once you had to buy a cassette. Now it is just like music, it is streaming. Right? You don't have to buy the cassette anymore. Right? And I just mentioned a while ago, OnlyFans. These women are making millions of dollars out of OnlyFans page. Which part of that money coming from?
Out of, I think
the
a lot of men are spending money on that. Yeah, a lot of men.
One click. See, fancy say it. One click and watch. One time you have to drive go down a Times Square, go buy one CD. No, I'm talking about the CD.
DVD.
Or the DVD, yeah. Right? But it is more accessible now. So I think it's just that we're not seeing it. Like once.
I think my passion is onto something. She's saying it might be more accessible, but it is less appealing. More accessible but less appealing. But let's go back to the statistics. It is said that 450 million million visitors to these porn sites on a monthly basis. 450 million.
It's a lot.
People on a monthly basis. That is more than popular.
Yeah, that is more than popular.
More than popular. Now, listen to this part now. Listen to this part. Out of that 450 million people who visits on a monthly basis, there are more than 400 million who watch to the end.
Watch time.
What does that tell you?
It is popular, man. 450 million per month. Some of our biggest artists not selling that amount of not getting that amount of streams and not selling that amount of music per month.
They're not selling that per year.
Per year.
They're not selling that per year.
Right?
You're talking about per month.
So it is, and again I say, it is just sad that we have had this wrong conception of sex from the get-go, right? Because one of the things is that we think, as I always say, we think is the rough up and the juke up and the neck squeeze and you get me say, and all of that. And I think that misconception come from even the very porn, right? People go in a them marriage. A lot of us go in our marriages. We struggle with it because we used to watch it and we used to see it and we think of that. We think we don't understand say. And again I say, Dr. KJ, it is more to distort the man, not destroy him, but it's more to distort him. We come in the marriage And when time we come into the marriage, we think say we need to have this big or long something. You see that? Distortion. Because
Yeah, because that's what men are taught to
True.
to
believe.
believe,
True.
And it only
True.
takes 3 inches to really get a
stimulate,
woman
get
satisfied.
that.
But how do you combat that when you actually have women who are saying that
It-
even a bigger outlaw, bigger than them head, you're not doing anything? How do you combat that? And then the internet is so accessible again. These things are on the internet as well. Adolescents, young people are reading these things. How do we mitigate and combat these fantasies? Because these are myths. They are really myth. How do we
Yeah.
mitigate and combat those things so
Mhm.
our generation can understand that it is not about that. That is not how it works. And
Yeah.
so you don't get violent when you're in the bedroom.
Mm-mm.
Right? Bedroom for your wife, your husband is about love. It's not about boxing up people, the pack,
Yeah.
pack, pack,
Yeah.
boxing
A bit.
them, man.
uh,
And I hear a lady one time where was having a conversation and she said, all the man do a box me and him now do one thing. You understand? Not one thing and I play box. And now when men hear these things, it does something to their ego. It
Yeah.
does something to their self-esteem. You know,
Yeah. I know. I know of a brother. I'm telling you. I know of a brother. He is also a saved brother in those days growing up. When he sees strong women, I mean, real strong women have good build and him slim, instead of she me want challenge. You have men today, they love to challenge. They love to put up a challenge. And I believe some of these men also go to porn to be taught how to put up that challenge to a
Yeah.
woman. And that's what we are talking about now.
And that's why I say,
yes,
you
so
see,
they're going to the wrong place for education.
yeah, and that is why I say is to distort the man. Remember, you know,
Deep
Dr.
from that.
KJ, look here, Dr. KJ. And these movies, right? These adult movies. They use different type of things to get the penis a certain size, and they split up these movies. It look like, and you see this long meter business, and that's something a place that I come from, you know, where them see a movie for an hour and the same man do it for 1 hour. But them don't realize that movie, the reality, that very movie could be shot in maybe more than 1 day. Right?
And they put it
And
together.
put it together, put all the scenes together, and then you know, as a regular man there road, see that and I say, yo, so and it mess up your ego, as where Pastor Kelly has said. At one point in
Yeah,
my
man.
life, you know, because I used
Yeah,
to,
man.
as me, I think I'm a wife, me I tell the other day, say, look here, me and my friend, them, we used to just sit down and watch porn, like how we watch a movie. You get me, I say? Like how you see a hot movie come out and we say, yo, we want to watch a movie there. We see a new porn
What?
come and we're going to watch it. You know what it did to me? It caused me to have low self-esteem sexually. Because
Come on,
in
sir.
my head, right?
Come on.
And this is why I keep on making mention of the distortion. Right?
Yes.
In my head, hear me I think no. Yo, no, it's about this no long like the brother the one funny thing I watch.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Like, no, legit. Me I tell you from experience, because experience are the best teacher. In my head, me that me way I do the sex and I say, no, but me not think me I do nothing.
Yeah.
Even though the girl might say to me, say, yeah man, you go on good money. In my head, you know, me I
Yeah.
say, but
It's
you know,
a thing
big,
to say,
you know, fat
lie
like,
shall tell.
you know, long like, I may never go long like. Right? And it for
Man.
years the thing make me struggle. Because me I say, in my head, me I say, yo, me not think me I do nothing. No matter how them do, them would have said to me, say, yeah man, you go on good man. Me no believe say me I go on good. Because what I watch on the porn movies, I do not possess it. I did not prolong I didn't go as long as me see them do it in the show until I start understand that, oh, them use penis pump and them pump up the penis, see make it look big, and them do surgery some of them, and
Affect
so
them later.
yeah, so it a regular man when a regular man who don't understand the making of these movies watch them, it affects you because you will go in the bedroom and you will not feel like you please the woman. You might not think about the girl where you see on the porn video, you know. But what you live with is the size of the youth where you see I do it, is how long he did it, and how hard and how the girl did make nice and all of these things. Not knowing that some of the time, even these knives that these girls are making, it is actually staged. Right? And you know,
So
go
you're
in
saying
your.
that sometimes they're making the noise and nothing really like one.
Nothing is happening. It is staged.
They're just acting.
It's just
Wrestling.
acting. It is just
Wrestling.
acting. Right? So you know, sit down and in your relationship and you say, but she not make a nice how me a girl upon it. So that's why I say they actually designed this thing to distort the man. And that is why men have so much low self-esteem issues going in relationships sexually. Because you're going at the relationship with the expectation, say, yo, when we going at this, I go and do car and really, you see? And they realize, boy, I know what you think.
Natalie Noble made a comment. Can you put that up on the screen for me? I think what she said is very important from a woman, right? She says it's all about the intimacy. The men need to challenge themselves to really appreciate and please the woman. Men must become sexually intelligent. I like this part. Men must become sexually intelligent by studying their spouse. I think that the last part of her statement hammers it home for me. If you as a man can understand your woman's body, can understand your wife's body, and understand how your wife loves it when you put it where she loves it there, and you'd be in a better position to fulfill all the desires your wife have than to be watching porn to see if, as QB was saying, to see if you can match up with what is going on there, because most of that is just a fantasy and it's not even real, and then you are walking away with low self-esteem, and the woman too, when they watch it, they expect you to perform
the same
where
way.
they see the man performing in the movie, in the pornography, in the
But
porn.
this what and I agree 100% with Natalie Noble, right? But guess what? Because over the maybe the how much decades me there now, 3 decades and a little bit, I have always hear the man must, the men must, the men must, the men must. And I said the other day on my live, I say, society teach men how to treat women, but not teach women how to treat men. Right? And most of the times, a man might do him thing, because sometimes you see most of these things, it fall back. Because guess what? Men, most times you will find, let's say, is no statistics that I see, but I would say 6 out of 10 men would have already experienced sex before even marriage. It is very rare that you find one virgin man who get married. And that's the truth. Right? And maybe them know a lot more than some of the females them. Right? Maybe them not, and remember the other day we talked about like the G spot and the spot, how to find them things. Most men not even know how to find it. You get what I say? Because of the concept of man not to do this and man not to do that and all of that. But we need to also understand that a man can know what he do, but the woman too don't know what she do. And that again can pose a problem.
Fancy Reedy says that women needs to study their men as well. And my passion says she agrees with that. And then she continued by saying, this is some of the reasons why they cheat or watch porn. Mr. Praise is saying the church needs to have sex education taught in the church. It's very important, because when you have a sister or a brother who comes to the church that is well exposed and used to having sex a certain way, How
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you mitigate
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That you see
It is
this?
very,
Mr. Praise comment, Dr. KJ.
yes,
Very
yes.
important.
Yeah, that is very important. He continued, and he said that the expectation is not met in the relationship. It can also cause
Oh,
problem.
Problem.
damn it. Mm-hmm.
And this is why we have a lot of people in the church today, though they don't talk about it. They and everybody know this program is a sexual program, and we
Yeah.
are not afraid to take on the challenge of anything sexual when it comes on to this program. And I agree with Mr. Praise. The church shy away from these topics. They don't talk about them, in their youth meetings, in their ladies meeting, their men meetings, their couples meetings, you name it, their singles meetings. They don't talk about these things, and as a result of that, people, Christians are of the opinion that all you're supposed to do is to go to church and feel the anointing, get in the spirit, and shout
Mm-hmm.
hallelujah. But then after that is done, you have a home, a house to go back to where your spouse is there. You have a wife there or you have a husband there. And there are so many challenges happening behind closed doors. But yet, when these wives or these husbands come out in the limelight, they smile as if everything is okay. Pastor Kelly, don't you think that's a form of hypocrisy?
It is. It is. And the truth, be the church, you must be honest and be, be not contrary, but be what God have you to be. And if you're having a problem, in that era, there's help. And tonight you will having it. Help.
There's help. I put back my passion comment. Thank you so much, my passion. My passion says that is why I think this program is good help to building Christian couples. That's what we're doing. I mean, a lot of programs are out there, talking about the Bible, talking about prophecies, and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. But not very many people talk about issues that do affect married people, married Christians, when they are out of the spirit, when after they would have listened to the word of God and jump and shout and all of that, there are still issues that were not dealt with. And
Yeah.
we are hoping that this program will help in some
True.
way or another. Now, listen to this: pornography has harmful and even destructive effects on marriage, and its increased use portends significant social concern. Now, let's look at some impact on the wives that this issue has. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're talking about the effects of pornography in the marriage. Is it demonic? Is it demonic? Now, impact on wives. In many cases, the wives of pornography users also develop deep psychological wounds, commonly reporting feelings of betrayal, lust, mistrust, devastation, and anger in response to the discovery or disclosure of a partner pornographic online sexual activity. Um, do you think this happened in the reverse as well, Kwasan?
Like men being
Do you think who do you think get angry more when they find out that porn is a part of the relationship? Do you think the man is more angry, the
I
woman is
think
more
I
angry?
think the women will become more angry, as and you outline that they it's like with a man, if a man, maybe if a man find out say him wife I watch porn, he might not take it
There's
as
something wrong.
serious. No, he might not take it as serious as the woman would, because we're more logical. Yeah, you see, is I think is my opinion,
Question.
Pastor
If
Ken.
my wife I watch part, something wrong.
No, but I'm saying the betrayal part of it and the hurt
Yeah.
part of it.
Oh,
I'm saying the
okay.
women would feel
Mm.
more hurt about finding out that her husband is watching porn than how the
Oh,
man would have feel.
we take it.
Right?
Oh, take
We
it.
are gonna
Yeah.
feel what will happen to we is not so much hurt and betrayal and all of that. It's going to mess with our ego. Right? But it's not like how it affect the woman, because the woman are gonna feel hurt and she might bawl and everything. But we know what gonna say, Christ, I'm think say me did I do it good enough. You get me I say? So the woman,
Is there a difference? Should it be acceptable? Should it be acceptable, Pastor Kelly, if you watch porn alone versus if you watch it with your wife? Should it be acceptable if you watch with your wife rather than if you watch it alone?
Watch it alone, are cheating. To me, watching porn alone are cheating. Now, the agreement is between the both partners to
yeah.
agree to say let's do it together. But for me, if my wife I watch it, Minister Kemika, she cheat.
Okay, so you feel like if your wife is watching porn by herself, she's cheating on you with whoever is in the
Yeah, if me
movie.
I do it, if I am doing it, if I'm doing it, I'm cheating. I'm cheating
So
it
you're saying that if both of you do it together, nothing is wrong with that?
because we agree. We are walk together. The Bible says can two walk together except they
They
agree.
agree.
So I'm in agreement with her, walking together, watching my porn. But doing it
What do
alone,
you feel about
hiding.
that, Jimmy?
Huh?
How do you view that?
You see, again, guess what? I'm ask me the question again, because I think I mean I don't want to say I don't want to answer the wrong question.
Right. So the question was, do you think it should be acceptable that you and your wife watch the porn rather than you watching it alone? Should it be acceptable if both of you watch it, or is it okay for both of you to watch it together in comparison to you watching it alone or she watching it alone?
All right, you see the problem now is what it is going to do to us mentally. Remember, I said to you, once we start, because watch the problem now. Next thing, the two of us go watch it and she go think, say, what? And the man are going so hard upon it, and you not going so hard upon it. Put yourself in a problem again. You understand? So it's like it's dangerous anywhere we take it. Anywhere we look upon it, from whatever angle, it will become dangerous. If me alone watch it, me I go think say, but my wife not chew it up for me, someone. You get what I say? And if she alone watch it, she go say, it will be the same. It will affect us the same way. So even though the two of us watch it, no, me they don't know what I say. But after she not chew it up for me, someone. Before you know it, we go start go pre that. If we are doing, like, let's say for example, like a book like Pastor Dunbar book now, sex scription, and we are read a sex scription, right? And we decide that, you know what, these are some of the things that we are going to do, and I might add to it. The reality is that, you see, because these porn movies, they are just random people people meet and just having sex. I don't even, like, not even for me, I don't think it is healthy for even me alone to be watch it, much less for us to introduce it in our marital homes, right? Because these are random people having sex, right?
They don't even know
They don't even know each other. They are not married.
There's no love there.
There's nothing there. So the only thing that is there really is just the motion, right?
And they call it the money when it's done.
So
Online on when I say online, on Facebook, and they were advertising and recruiting adult entertainers. So when I saw the big heading, they were to act. Pastor Kelly, we're hearing you, to act those movies to put online for the porn organizations. I mean,
I was just saying to make more money. I was saying to make more money. That's what I was saying.
Yes, it is alarming, because now you realize that porn in the past was a thing that was hidden. People would hide and do these things. But now it is in the open, is as if you are to accept it because it is the norm. And this is what is now being pushed on our children.
Mhm.
Every angle you turn there, you're listening to the radio, there's something sexual. You're listening to the TV, there's something sexual. You take up the newspaper, there is something sexual. Even in some of the textbooks
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah,
high school and
yeah,
primary schools
yeah,
today,
yeah,
they are depicting these things. And
yeah. It's a
you must
habit.
ask yourself, God, where will this generation end up as
I
far
tell you.
as their sexuality is concerned, as far as them growing up and getting married is
Yeah,
concerned? I think we're in some big problems. We're in serious
yeah,
problems because
yeah.
of the pornographic world.
Now you have men in the country, way in the country. I mean, in the we call it bush back home in Jamaica, way in the bush. Remember in those days when you had calendars, we have the girl with the wine buckle and she
Yeah.
have her shape on it. Let me tell you, you have men right now has those images in their bedroom as their porn.
Yeah.
Because they don't have internet, they don't have no
Serious.
DVD player, they don't have any cassette
Serious.
recording device. So they find ways to collect these things. And I'm telling you, I'm talking about men who are in the way bush.
Yeah,
And that
that's
is
true.
what pleases them. And that is what pleases them. So this thing is going on a long time and it's getting worse. But we not see it like one time because it's more in the phone now. You can go in the bathroom and you do as you like. I'm happy that I didn't practice these things. Because probably I would be still on it. I didn't practice.
Nadine Grant Brown made a comment. We'll get into your comment, Fancy Reedy, in a little bit. Nadine Grant Brown, put back that comment up, QB, from Facebook. Um,
From
we're gonna,
Facebook.
yeah, you just put it up a while ago. Nadine
Oh,
Grant
oh.
Brown. Yes. She says, I believe as Christian, watching porn, whether alone or together, is endorsement of fornication. Usually it involves anal sex and other kinky sexual behavior. That is also addictive behaviors to the watchers. And this is how a psychologist would speak. Just the terms that she's using, their counselor's term, and I agree with her 100%. Addictive behaviors to the watchers, which means that you are going to be hooked to it. What is going to happen? What you think happens now when you are not able to see the porn and you are supposed to have sexual intercourse with your partner? What you think happened at that time, at that point? You are not able to function at all because porn is like masturbation. If you masturbate too much, you get addicted to it and you have an erection quicker masturbating than um going to have intercourse with your wife.
Intercourse, yeah.
It is serious. And so we have to ask God to cover our minds, to guard our eyes as to what we see, and our ears as to what we hear. Now, once you recognize that pornography is evil, I should ask a question. Do you think pornography is evil, Pastor Kelly?
It is. It is.
Do you think it's
It
evil,
is.
QB?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, once
It
we
is.
recognize that pornography is evil and harmful, we should make it our goal to stay away from it. Now, look at what the
Right.
Bible says with Job. Job was one of the Bible's great men of faith who took God seriously and shunned the very appearance of evil. So, if pornography is evil, we've got to shun the very appearance of evil. Job says that I made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at a girl. Job 31 and verse 1. Have you made a covenant with your eyes? That's a question that we have to ask ourselves. A serious covenant to see
True,
women
true.
not as things, but as person, because pornography is seen as a thing. And
Mm-hmm.
when pornography becomes a part of our lifestyle, our marriage, then we begin to see our wives as a thing. and our wives
Mm.
begin to see us as a thing, because now
Yeah.
we are going to be challenged to perform the
Yeah.
way she sees the man performing in the movie, or she's going to be challenged or under pressure to do the kinky stuff that Nadine is talking about there, because there's a lot of kinky things that goes on when it comes on to the porn industry. A whole lot of stuff, the anal sex. I believe this is where
Mhm.
the whole anal sex thing got ripe.
Yeah. Transgress,
When
man.
people think that
True.
it is okay to do anal sex.
That is the reason why we have to be careful what we practice. Even though we may see ourselves be free as married people, there are certain things that we know it's a no, no, no. And we can transgress even our marriage. We can transgress in many ways in our thoughts. Remember, we don't sin only by our actions, our thoughts as well. And as Dr. just said, sharing with us that our eyes make covenant. And this is real, deep stuff.
All right, Dr. KJ.
Yes.
Just to all right, this comment, fancy. Um, I don't think what when Dr. KJ asked if we believe pornography is evil, I don't think he's actually saying sex is evil,
Sex is different from
right?
pornography. Let's
Because
establish that.
yeah, the thing is
Sex is
that
different.
and I have to agree with Dr. KJ what he said a while ago. What happened is that porn actually only teach you to just get in and get out, basically. Right? It only it don't really it don't teach you it don't teach you anything intimate. Because if you realize what sometimes what you see on some of these porn is actually abuse. And what he's saying is that if we watch it long enough and absorb it long enough, what is going to happen to us is that we're going to stop see each other as persons,
As human beings,
as
we're gonna
human
start
beings,
as a thing.
as things, and sex objects, because that is what that is what porn does, Make the woman them become sex objects. And if you realize how it is set up, it is always geared towards dehumanizing the female. So as a matter of fact, women should be against porn more than anybody else in the world. Because every single porn that you ever watch, look, it is always to dehumanize the woman. It is never to, you realize, you watch a porn, you will see the man, you will see the woman face, but you will not see the man face right throughout the porn. The man face is always, and some of them, but majority of them, the man face is always out of frame. You don't see the man face most of the times. So you realize it is most times it is to dehumanize women. Most of these things that these men do to these women in the porn videos, it is really degrading. Fancy wouldn't understand because Fancy is not a watcher of porn, right? But I can tell you, Fancy, that some of these things that you see goes on. Me used to watch porn like every day, and some of them make me really not watch them because of how the man them deal with the woman them. Look here, some of these porn videos, they defecate, urinate, spit, slap, kick, punch, bite. Some things that they would do to these women.
Evil
Things that they would do to these women. Tie them up, do them all sort of stuff. It is way beyond just kinky. Kinky is not even the word for it. Some of these things that these men do to these women in some of these porn videos, it is way past kinky. Kinky is me feeling like I want to go inside the room now and tie up the woman with my tie and tie her up on the bed and decide I'm going to do some nice things. Or tie her two foot them sup on the bed and we're going to do some things. That is kinky. But some of the things that these men do to these women are evil. And as I say, it is more so to dehumanize women. It is not to dehumanize men. Because even if a man decide that he's going to do oral sex in some of these videos, you wouldn't even see his face. But once the woman starts to do it to him, the camera is right up in her face. Look at that
She's the
right there.
spotlight. She's the
She is the
spotlight.
spotlight, right? So if you really check it,
Set up.
no, but fancy. If you wasn't, this is the this comment here, Dr. KJ. These are the things that actually happen in the porn, and that's why I say fancy, because you are not a watcher of porn. You might not be able to be one of the persons to decide if it is evil or not. But let me tell you that it is evil.
Evil.
Remember I said at the get-go, we used to sit and watch porn like movies. Like how we just buy a show and just decide so we're going to watch a movie. That's how we used to do it. Right? So when you really see how it work against women, when you really see the things that these men, you would think it's just a piece of meat that ground. It is not the best place to go. It is not the best place to go to see what you need to do with your partner. It is not the best place to go.
Not the best place. Agree.
Not the best place. Sexscription is there. Right?
That was very deep. I trust that the question or the comment from Fancy Reed was answered. In fact, she said point taken. All right. That's what this program is all about. We're here to learn together. Yeah, that's what the program is all about. Now, pornography causes emotional separation. Emotional separation, and not only that, I'm going to give you another set of statistics. That pornography has tangible consequences. Tangible. When viewing of pornography rises to the level of addiction, 40% of sex addicts lose their spouses. I want you to pay attention to that. 40%, that is when pornography rises to the level of addiction. 40% of these people will lose their spouses. 58% suffers considerably financial losses. And about a third lose their job. Let's look at that. 58% suffer considerable financial loss. Why do you think that is? They have to pay for the subscription.
Yeah.
They have to pay to keep watching it in wherever they're getting it from. They have to go spend more money to get the stuff that they see them using to make it be as real as it can be for them. Sometimes they end up missing work because they do all these kinky stuff at nights, and then they can't wake up to go to work. But the thing is gonna happen. No, they're gonna lose their job. All right, they can't wake in the morning. All right, they are so overtaken by the desires of these unwanted or sexual urges that was not necessary. And truth be told, a lot of these things are happening to married people, married men. That too is very concerning. Is it that they're lacking something in the home? Is it that their wives not giving them something? This topic here tonight, it is deep. Fancy really saying pay for subscriptions and spend too much time on it rather than being productive. And that is true. That is true. 100% true.
Not many persons would really take the time out to think before they act, even to make the move to go forward in making the decision to say, I'm going to give it a go and watch it for the first time. Remember, we have so many things that are considered to be addiction that we didn't even know until we find ourselves into it. So us being here tonight, we can say to the young men and the women, not telling you what to do by forcing you, to encourage you. If you can stop, or if you can not go into it, it would save you for tomorrow, for your future, for that which is, that is not going to be, pleasing to you for you to go into that. It will cost you. And that's what we just read a while ago. I have seen in the days when my peers, there was a neighbor, that's what he rented. And that was not DVD, it was the cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
When I see it, my whole being knows that it's not right. When I see it, I say, no, this not right. And what I did, I walk away. But I see it and I see these things. But to sit down and say, I'm going to watch it, I've never had that desire up until today.
Richard White is saying porn is just a trick on the mind of innocent people because 90% of it is not real, pure acting. And QB alluded to that earlier, that a lot of what goes on, in the pornographic world is acting. It's not
Mm-hmm.
real. And then you, the watcher, you are now forced to actually go live something that you watch that was not even real.
Mm-hmm.
So it is
Was
even
real.
deception. Pornography can be deceptive.
It
Mm-hmm.
is. It is.
Now, prolonged exposure to pornography also fosters dissatisfaction with and even distaste for a spouse affection. Cynical attitudes regarding love begin to emerge, and superior sexual pleasures are thought attainable without affection towards partners. These consequences hold for both men and women who have had prolonged exposure to pornography, with the decline in sexual happiness being primarily due to the growing dissatisfaction with spouse's normal sexual behavior. It is said that pornography also increase infidelity. Do you agree with that, QB?
Yeah, it does.
Pastor Kelly? You think it increase prolonged pornography increases um, infidelity, or has the ability and the potential to cause infidelity? Are you muted?
We're not hearing you.
Are you muted?
Oh, sorry about that. Cheating. It
Yes,
is.
yes,
It is. It,
yes,
it will.
yes.
It will. Because it going to take you away, even in your vision. You're going to start to see dreams. I'm speaking based on not experience, but based on things that we would, practice in the temporal. It comes in the spiritual, and that's where it's going to take the individual, because you're going to start see these things now operating in your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And when it
And
So
when
do
it
you
come
think
now,
when you begin to
go ahead.
dream about these things, this is where the demons now start to manifest themselves?
Yes, Doc. I guess it's gonna get deep now, because it leave from addiction now and gone into a spiritual now, where it take it all over. And it may sound like I'm speaking of an experience, no, because I
No,
am looking at it
no, we're just
at
giving
a spiritual
information,
level.
my brother. We're just giving
Yeah,
information. Look at what First
yeah.
Timothy 5 and verse 1 says. The Bible said, treat younger women as sisters with absolute purity. Um, how would you treat a younger sister? Would you want your sister posing in a porn magazine or performing sex in videos?
Mm,
Would you want millions of men starting staring and stalking your sister because of her nakedness that they would have seen? Would you
wow,
want big
wow.
cooperation profiting from her shame? And
Mm,
QB alluded to that earlier, that it is not so much to bring shame to the man, but to bring shame to the
to
woman.
the woman. Yes.
all right, look here.
When you look at porn is so dangerous. And in my eyes, based on what the Bible is saying, porn is evil.
Yes. Yeah.
Dr. KJ?
Yes.
Oh, you see this comment right here? I passed it. Nadine Grant Brown. You see this?
She says women are now coming out, especially Playboy, saying they were drugged, tricked. And by the way, I must let you know that this person is a superintendent of police. All right, so we can be assured that these are facts and not make up stories. So women are now coming out, especially Playboy, saying they were drug tricked and subdued into doing porn through evil intentions and human trafficking. It is real. And so a lot of these things that people watch online, they are and QB, it goes back to what you were saying. That's why you don't even see the face of the men.
Yeah. A couple of them, maybe about 3 or so years ago, a few of these videos, and it was all over social media. They had to remove a whole heap of videos. You know why? Because
They
these
were drugged and
women,
tricked.
and that's why I put up a comment, because these women started coming out and telling telling them that no, this wasn't something that I consent to, right? And that's why
It's
I
a good
say it.
time to it's a good time to highlight to our ladies, especially, and they're doing it to men too. By the way, they're doing it to men too. So let's not just focus too much on the women and leave out the men, and then the men, find themselves in that situation. But it's a good time to help our ladies protect themselves and to encourage our ladies not to go out and love eat from people and drink from people, because you never know what they will do to you, especially if you don't know them. Men will see you and become attracted to you because you look good. Perhaps you were wearing something tight and they desire you, and they just do some stupid things just to get you in bed. And then this is the age of technology, and
Yeah.
every phone has a video camera,
Yeah,
and everything is now being videoed. Everything is on camera,
everything.
right? And the next thing you know, you see your image out there. People see you, and you don't even know when that happened because you were drugged. I think these men who does these things, or the industry that partake in these things, should be locked away for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a serious matter, but most times, because you see, because the as you said, the consumer for these things are so, the demand for it is there,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Because the demand is there, the demand for it is there, and we only can make mention to it in the sense where maybe a married man, or let's say because we mostly focus on the Christian couple and all of that, right? We
Yes.
look upon it in the sense that um, you they we can be affected by it, right? But like I always say, we are not even like just sitting here and thinking about it, because I start thinking about it so deep. We who are affected by it, in the sense that we might end up start liking it or whatever, it's not even so much a victim like these people who are being victimized through it.
Yeah.
You realize it?
Yeah.
Serious enough. And
Because
that's
that
why
was done to them against their will.
and that's why it is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, I am here sitting and thinking, because I've never really thought about it this deep.
Yeah.
I am here thinking about it now, and I'm like, this is actually somebody who doesn't want to do these things.
Yeah.
But because you pay,
Force.
because the demand is there for it, this thing continues, and we see it as just always entertainment. You know?
Proverbs
Mm.
5 and verse 18 and 19. Proverbs 5, 18 and 19. The Bible warns against sexual sins. It says, may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. May her breasts satisfy you always. May you ever be captivated by her love. Have you noticed that what the Bible is saying here is that if you need to see naked people, go tell your wife to strip. If you need to see a naked man, tell your husband to strip. That's a
Mm.
nakedness that you need to see. Richard White said it does 100% because it sends us searching for that which you see and not getting in the marriage. That fake pleasure that either partners see on porn and not achieving can cause big problems. And that is so true. God designed sex, everybody. God designed sex to flourish in faithfulness,
Yes.
passionate marriage, and if you are captivated by your wife's love, you're less likely to be trapped in pornography.
Yeah.
Isn't that the
Mm.
beautiful part of it?
Very
What
beautiful.
we is
Put the
saying, I
very
think
on it.
it's a choice. We can't say they don't want to do it. Not all the time, Fancy. I think she's referring to those who are
Close the
drugged.
door.
Not all the time, my dear. Sometimes they drug you and you have no clue what's going on. Absolutely no
Mm.
clue. There are celebrities right now who went to jail and some who are still in jail for that,
Yeah.
for drugging women. And after they saw the tape and come to their senses and their realization what was happened, they
That's what
reported.
happened.
Yes, so not all the time. It's not their choice. Sometimes it is against their will 100%.
Percent.
This whole matter of pornography is serious. First Corinthians 7 and verse 9, it says that if you have a pornographic problem, meaning you're not married, the Bible is saying that it's better to marry than to burn with passion. Paul says that
Yeah.
in First Corinthians 7 and verse 9. Now, marriage has huge spiritual importance as union of two people designed to dramatize the union of Christ and his church. Now, if marriage was designed to
Mm.
emulate Christ and the church, do you think, therefore, that porn should be a part of it?
Not supposed to. It's another entity.
So, therefore, anything outside of that becomes demonic. And as you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, Pastor Kelly, that people start dreaming about these things. Now, another thing, QB, when persons look at the porn, the pornography, and they are with their spouse now, are they really thinking about their spouse or are they really thinking about what they saw or what they are seeing?
Double minded.
That's the point, QB.
Yeah, and and that's why I keep on going back to the point of it is really there to distort us. Because when we even being in the bed with your partner and you are actually thinking, because most of these things that you see in these videos you might want to play out, and as a result of that sometimes it can become detrimental. It can become, as I say, once it become an addiction, that is where the big problem comes in.
How do we maneuver this comment?
Which one?
Fancy Reader says, but not everyone is physically attractive to their husband or wife. My question is, why did you get married? Why did you marry that person?
I believe what she meant there, not every marriage is genuine. Not every marriage was really staged for a godly, marriage. So I believe Pastor really say that not every marriage you find that because of it wasn't staged in an honest way, it's because of reasons. Maybe it's a deal, something of a sort. So I believe if I'm right, Fancy, you tell me.
This is a deep topic. Fancy saying people get married for different reasons. Yeah, we know that.
Mhm.
Porn is harmful. Porn is destroying marriages today across the world. And next week we want to look at what the science says about pornography and marriage. We're going to get into with the topic next week. But
Yeah.
if I would leave you with another scripture from First Corinthians 7, verse 3 and verse 5, it says, if you are married, do all you can to make the marriage stronger and warmer, and don't neglect love making. The Bible is refreshing. Likewise, the wife to her husband. The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. In the same way, the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife. Do not deprive each other, so that
Mhm.
Satan will not tempt you because of your
Yes.
lack of self control. Do not
Yes.
deprive each other.
Yes.
I think it was
Don't.
you earlier, Pastor Kelly, who said that a lot of men watch it because they're not getting it in the home. They're not, just imagine a man has never seen his wife naked. She showers
I'm
in the
telling you.
bathroom, put her clothes on in the bathroom. This man has never seen his wife naked. Cut it out. Lady, cut
Yeah.
it out.
Wicked.
And
Take
Wicked.
your clothes off in front of your husband. Cut it out. Cut
and
it
Mm.
out.
and
Mhm.
Right? The
Yes. Cut it
Bible.
out. Cut it out.
And then, and
Yes.
then these people, they are the ones who profess to be the holy of the holiest. But this is what the Bible is saying. Do not deprive your spouse so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control.
and Dr. KJ.
All that we're talking about is in scriptures, It's just that a
Yes.
lot of people are afraid to talk about it because, quote unquote, it is sex. And so it is so bad. And a lot of people in church today,
Mhm.
they neglect
Mhm.
love making in their relationship all because of church. Again, cut it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cut it
Who teach
out.
them?
You
Who
see,
teach
Cut it
them? That
out.
can who teach them? Who teach
All
them?
right. Do not. And God
Hmm.
is not pleased if we
Hmm.
neglect our spouse in the name of church.
Him a go a road.
and Dr. KJ,
Yeah.
that is what I wanted to say before we close that. You see, some of the time we can't even so much blame the porn, because guess why? We don't even have anybody teaching us healthy sex.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We're more focused on the don't do this, don't do that, and we grew up hearing that. And we grew up hearing about fornication than healthy sexual relationship. If you really think about it, we grew up hearing about the wrong aspect of sex more than the right context of sex. And I think that is what the problem. We tend to more focus on, or let me say, because we taught this way because we were brought up in the church. The church is more focused on the fornication than actually saying um guys, sex is a good thing in the right context. You don't hear that very often in church, right?
No,
So
you don't.
what we do is grow up believing that we need to and this is it. We are human beings. We love to explore. If we get married and we don't know how to do it, and nobody not teaching it in the church, you know what we are going to do? We're going to the next best thing, which is the sites that create the opportunity for us to see what we need to do. That's the reality.
And something, QB, as you were saying that, and I'm sure Pastor Kelly will agree with me as someone who's been a leader in the church. The church expects us to come as virgins. So we're going to get
Mhm.
married. I'm a virgin. My expected wife is a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the church expects it to be. That's how it should really be. That's how
Sure.
God wants it to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, kind of
But
thing.
on the
Mhm.
other hand, I come as a virgin and my expected wife comes as a virgin. But we don't know what to do. after we get married because we were never taught, we were never instructed. Some pastors don't know how to do premarital counseling. Some couples have never gone to premarital counseling, so they could have at least learned these things, at least, been taught what to expect and what not to expect, what to do, what not to do. All right. Now, this is why it is so important that we foster an environment in the church where young people, in particular, you know, becoming adults, young adults, can ask questions, can be taught, they can learn, they can have the information that they need. That when they do get married, if and when they get married as a virgin, that they don't look stupid or they enter into the marriage blindly, but they would have gone in with some amount of knowledge that okay, this is what I'm to expect. This is what is going to happen. It's just the same way you would have your little girl coming up, Pastor Kelly, QB,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you don't wait until she gets her menstruation to teach her
Yeah, to
about the
teach
cycle.
her about the cycle.
You
Yeah.
Mhm.
teach her
Teacher,
what to
home,
expect, how
home
it works.
teaching, yes.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
you would teach her that. It's the same thing with our sons. We teach them about wet dreams. We let them know
Yes,
what to expect and what it means. We teach them
yes,
all of that. And I believe it's the
yes.
same way the church needs to have a program where we teach our young people who are
And
planning now to get married what to expect.
and I remember the days when my parents started out and brethrens, and we used to have the woman auxiliary. You know that session in church, doc. You have the
Right.
youth service as well. Important service. Those services are important. Though today you find it hard. You don't get that in the Sunday school. This is what we are talking about. You will not get this in the Sunday school. But you will get it in the woman auxiliary, you will get it into the youth service.
Or
And
the men's
I'm
department.
not seeing it right, right. It's not happening now. It's not
But Pastor Kelly,
happening now. Hmm.
you know that church is the most uncomfortable place to even mention anything
Talk
about
about these
sex.
things. To talk about these things. Yes.
It is something that I have
It's
experienced
bad.
over the
It's
years.
bad.
You know
It
that
is true. It is
church
true.
create this tension, this environment, so that you don't even. Sometimes you wonder if these people who are married in the church, if they even have sex. Have you ever thought
Mm,
it? The church has created an environment where you are afraid of even go up there and say anything about sex. So
mm.
even though we talk about woman auxiliary and young people's meeting and this and that, they're not talking about that. You see, and
But it's
Pastor
few churches.
the Dr. KJ start the program on a very important point, right? When he said that, you see, I just lost my chain of thoughts, because I'm thinking about so much things that I tried to cut it, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
we have to understand that if it take this right here for people to have to be, because we are in a community where we were supposed to teach holistic relationship and all of these things and ensure that people understand what to do, right? When you get married, how you do. But what we do is that we more focus. So we teach people about heaven, we teach people about hell, we teach people about everything else except what we face in reality. Have you ever thought about that? That we have
Mm,
all of
mm.
the, I don't want to call it the superstitions, but we have all of the other stuff talked about every single day except things that we actually physically go through right now in the flesh form.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it
That's
cause
why
a,
the
it,
home is
it cause a big problem. That's why I say once we are not taught, nobody tell us how we do these things. No, because we focus so much on, oh, that is wrong and this is wrong, and if you do that, and we focus on the wrong and the wrong and the wrong, then people just end up
they,
going back to the wrong to find
yeah,
out what they need to do.
and that is why the home teaching is important. Going to the school growing up is important. When you go to the guidance council, that's why you have a guidance council you can go to with things that evil you may be afraid to talk to mommy or daddy or auntie or something like that. But I it's a process. Everything is a process. You go through that process of your growth to see where you would get ideas or knowledge, and it's way different now. It's way different now. That far
It's
different. So that is why God is
totally
using us
different.
tonight, yeah, to bring a
Totally
light
different.
to these young people so that they don't miss it. They don't miss the good
Yes.
teaching for this cause.
Because look at Dr. KJ, right? Dr. KJ would want to say some things, but guess what? He might be
Edit
censor
it.
some stuff.
Edit it.
No, we have to look at it really and truly, That, you see, and why I always come back, because what we focus on is mostly, we focus on the marriage in general and how to do, but because of the Christian community that we are used on a part of, that is what we are trying to reach,
Important.
because we cannot
Important.
say unsaved people are having issues sexually, because them female here, when I'm a Christian or nothing, she and her man in an argument, you see, before he go out the road or go work, she give him some. She make sure say she give him some before he left out her yard. You get me say? But we have some Christian woman who tell about you never do this. Shop lock. See that porn site, And we keep on a set to women. Don't feel that because your husband up on the rostrum and him preach and him sweat and him say when him a preach. Don't feel like say he's above. The Bible said the enemy is about seeking so anybody who him can devour. And if at the most vulnerable point,
loophole.
you preach, Dr. KJ, Pastor Kelly preach, and I've heard many preachers say it. So one of the most vulnerable moments, you know why so many preachers fall sexually? Because at their most vulnerable moment is when them just don't preach. And some of the time, the wife them not dead. You ever look on that yet? Say you know what happened to them? The little secretary will go around with them and bring in the little something, them come give them feel good.
And I'll lay a hand.
So church, the church and marriages, like I always said, you get married and when the wedding done, that's it. Nobody call you say, Dr. KJ, always the marriage, Dr. KJ. Always the marriage, Pastor Kelly. Always the marriage, Question. Always the marriage, Praddy. Always the marriage.
Some church do it.
And I'm saying you don't find it as often, and that is the problem. Because if we are having so much problem, that means we are not having it enough.
Yeah.
If we are having so much issues, that means we are not having it enough. We cannot talk about the 2 or the 3 congregation that we are doing it. We have to focus on the majority because we are realizing that Christian marriages are failing, right? These women not giving these men enough sex. These men don't know how to romance their wife. These women feel like so them can lock shop. These are all heap of things, are all heap of issues. Yeah. And if Dr. KJ had to come here on YouTube to do all of this, that means there are problems. We are in a serious issue.
Yeah, as you said, some things we have to censor. And it is true. We have a lot of church people, a lot of church folks who are watching, a lot of bishops who watch this program. We do have a lot of pastors who watch this program, and there are a number of people that do watch this program. They may not comment, but they're there, and we do appreciate their presence. And I'm hoping that we're able to help them. Because I know for a fact that, as a pastor myself and having been in that circle, I would have, been a counselor, for years. I would have heard so many cases and dealt with so many cases where the women, especially, God forbid, it is sad, but it is true. Pastors' wives, missionaries' wives, husbands, and deacons' wives, and deaconesses' husbands, and you name it. Their spouses are suffering behind closed doors. There are pastors. there are women pastors who would not even put on a lingerie for their husbands.
Bad.
And
That
then
is
you
wicked.
are going to tell that man how wrong it is to look at porn when that man is dying to look at porn on you.
Yeah.
For you to put a lingerie on and flash in front
Turn
of
it up.
him.
Yeah.
He's
Turn up the
dying to
heat.
see that.
Yeah,
But
man. Turn up the heat.
the gospel and we use the Bible to say how ungodly you
Yeah.
are. You are ungodly.
For
to
one
walk
see me
into
in
that.
a net
No.
something in a
The
mess.
Bible says, do not deprive each other so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. If you do
Yeah.
that and the man gets out of control, can't no longer control himself, you are also responsible
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't do what 1 Corinthians 7 says.
And the
Not
man too.
deprive him.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with the man to Dr.
Yes.
KJ. If the man not do it
Yes.
too, the same thing.
Yes.
You get me? The same thing.
Yeah, man.
Nadine says she is so heavenly bound that she is no earthly sexually good.
I have friends who tell me directly that they have big elderly men. Never see them wife out of her closet. Never.
I know people personally, brother. So when we're not talking just off the top of it. I know
Never.
men who had married for over 40 years
Never.
and have never seen their wife naked. And I asked one of the man one time, I said, but you have children. You got children. He said, yes, I had to do it in the dark.
Mm.
I have never seen them said I don't know one strand of hair upon the front how we look.
So what caused that? That I want to know, you know. And what caused that?
Stupidity.
Yeah, it will be. It is stupidity.
That's what caused it.
What kind of mindset that?
So you push this man now to go and watch pornography. That is not healthy for the relationship. And then you turn around and rebuke this man, not realizing that it's because you deprived him. The man perhaps buy you a sexy lingerie or whatever. Wear it in your bedroom. Ladies, I feel your man. I your husband. Wear it. Flash it in front of him. Make him
See you
call
weird.
out hallelujah.
Dr. KJ,
Yeah,
man.
fancy really a problem, you know. Fancy, go to your bed. Go sleep.
It is sad. I'm sad to say there are women as well, QB and Pastor Kelly, who has never seen their husbands naked either.
True. True.
And to me, that's a self-esteem problem.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
They might feel, oh, I'm not adequate.
Yeah.
And maybe she had a man before who was, come, cut that out.
I like I'm in a business. Look here, I'm in a business. I'm not intimidated by anybody at all. I don't care. Whether you're thick, whether you have big chest, whether you have muscles up. So, look here. I'm full of self-esteem so till it run over.
Let me tell you something. I see a lot of men these days working hard to get six-pack. But me tell them all the while, I don't have one pack. I carry the whole case. And
Investment.
Investment.
You know what?
My investment.
Guess what? Let us hold on. Let us.
So I am not going to allow that to prevent me from walking naked in front of my partner.
Guess what I'm going to do? Because at this present moment, I just feel like Dr. KJ just said something a while ago.
Investment.
If
Dr. KJ.
Kudos to you.
Dr. KJ.
Congratulations to you. Nothing wrong with that.
Dr. KJ.
I have the whole case.
Hold on, man.
And this is my investment.
This deserves a time signature. Wait a bit. This deserves a time signature.
Hold on there. Watch out.
For the advert.
Oh God, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this at all.
Let me tell you something. Brema, you see when we step up on the ground. Dr. KJ, we just want to tell Satan one thing. Jesus bigger than you, your mama, your papa, your picnic them, your grandson. Please catch a fire and burn down.
Man, say have a whole case. Boy, I saw you go, yeah.
So you need not worry
Yeah.
when you get married. You see, love is something that covers a lot of things. When you truly love your spouse, love your
Yes.
partner, you don't see the imperfections. You accept him or her for who she or he is, and
Yep.
you look beyond all those imperfections, and you love that
Mm.
person for. Until
Yeah.
we get to that place, we're gonna always have problems.
Yeah.
Let's put back
Yep.
fancy my passion comment. I didn't see that. Let me read it. See, church marriages needs help, or else Christian marriages will continue to fail. And it is true. It is true. It is true. So we got to, gentle people, we got to
Yeah.
get it right. Let's live according to the standard of the Bible. Galatians 5 and verse 16 says, live by the Spirit and you will not gratify the desires of the sinful nature. And let me make this clear that seeing your spouse naked is not sinful nature. He is the one you are supposed to see naked. She is the one you are supposed to see naked. When you deprive them of that, that is where the sinful nature will kick in. So listen, let's get it right. Let's enjoy your marriage. You're married. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy no matter how long you're married for, 40 years, 20 years, 10 years, 1 year, 2 year, whatever it is. Enjoy your partner. God bless you
Yeah,
with
man.
that person.
Give it a go.
Enjoy your
Give it
partner.
a go.
Yeah. Right? No, can you imagine me going to the bathroom, going to bathe, and every time I go bathe, me have to come out, put on clothes, come out, and I'm my wife alone in the bedroom?
Come
What
on.
nonsense is that?
Come on.
Two big stone.
What?
So,
Listen, dry off yourself and put on your perfume or something and go lie down naked, master. I feel somebody.
yeah, the Bible tell you your body, the woman body belongs to the man, and the man body belongs to the woman.
Brethren,
Yeah.
maybe I don't put spray and all perfume for myself. I'm not going on bed.
Yeah. Enjoy your relationship,
I
folks.
see it, boy.
Enjoy your relationship.
Sweet boy, QB, what you say? Sweet boy.
Yeah, maybe I don't put on perfume and something.
Bless up, Praddy. Praddy is on. Big up yourself, Praddy.
Yourself,
Praddy,
Paddy.
up full.
It is now 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
This is where we're gonna bring the curtains down for today. We're talking about the effects of pornography in marriage. Is it demonic? Next week, we're going to be looking at what the science says about pornography and marriage. And we are going to be looking at 10 ways porn puts your marriage in danger. All right. So invite a friend next week to come back and let's continue the discussion. This has been Relationship Talk. Thank you so much, Pastor Kelly. Thank you very much, QB, and all our listeners. We thank you so much. Nadine Grant Brown, Fansaridi, My Passion, Richard, Sister Paisley, Shanti Hits. Thank you so much, everybody who came on, everybody who stayed on. Thank you so much. Grant Brown is saying birthday suits are usually good to sleep in. Birthday suits are usually good to sleep in. Before we go, Pastor Kelly, do they have a statement that they said if you sleep naked, you run away the presence of the Lord? Something to that effect. Have you ever heard that before?
Let me hear it.
Not in your bedroom. Not in your bedroom.
The angel them now go coming for.
Yeah,
Look
the
here.
angel gonna come.
At any given.
What nonsense would that be? Because don't you need the angel around you when you're having a shower too?
Look here.
Are you
If I
bathing clothes?
If I should
No,
pass,
no,
if I should
brother.
pass in my sleep, is a naked dead body them I take out of the house.
Listen,
I'm sure of that.
listen.
That's brother.
Thank you so much for joining. Please come back next week. Join us next week. We're going to have another riveting time as we dive into topics that the churches are afraid to talk about. Until next week, walk good.
See, one of those days.
Weeping may endure until I'm 59, but a minute after that I will be fine. Yo, KJ!
Let me tell you this. Chai coming out the morning. Chai coming out the morning. Chai coming out the morning. After one whole night of morning. Chai coming out the morning. Chai coming out the morning. Chai coming out the morning. After one whole night of morning. I could not sleep last night. Situations had me up.
No way at all.
And when I tried to pray,